Hello everybody, Walter here. Welcome to episode 22 of my Oxygen Not Included Let's Play series with the Space Dot and DLC. In the previous episode we set up the last two floors for our industrial brick, which are the research floors, and now it's time to start working on a logistic center to put together all of the different conveyor rail systems we currently have on our base into one whole network. But before that, there are some minute changes I would like to make that I noticed during the editing of the last episode. So let's get straight back to our colony and have a look. And here we are. Now the first change I would like to make here is actually splitting this big room here into three smaller ones. And that way I can turn two of those into laboratories, which should give a 10% efficiency bonus to research. So for that I'm going to have to split them along this axis here. So I need to get rid of all of these here. Also this one there. I will also need some space here and some space over there. And now I can grab my sweeper and replace it over here. Connect it again with some power. Along this axis I'm just going to put pneumatic doors. Let's actually increase the priority for all of those. And up there I'm just going to put an airflow tile like so. And in those two spots I'm going to need a light source. So I'm going to put one here, one there. They obviously also need some power, so power here and power there, and that should be all I need to turn these here into proper laboratories. Just like this here. And now, as you can see, I have my efficiency bonus for my research. Although I think it's only the speed and not how much research I can do for a given amount of materials, but I'll take it in either case. Next up, let's have a look at those conveyor loaders here. First of all, I now have access to warm sweaters since last time, so I can move them over. And I also want to move over towards the right for now lumber, which, together with the warm sweaters, I'm also going to move then further down towards this space here for my fashion industry. And from there on, I'm going to move the lumber further towards the left, towards the two ethanol distillers here. So I'm going to need this space here for a couple of conveyor loaders. One will be for the wood or lumber, and the second one will be for sand, so I can automate the process of getting sand up here to my water sieve. So I need to get rid of this storage bin too, and once this is done, which should be any second now, I can put in the two conveyor loaders, which will obviously also need some power. Then I can grab the first rail and place it here. This is for the lumber, and the second rail will be for the receptacle up here for the sand, which goes right there. And I have to put in a little bridge just there. And that way I can automate the process up here. And I also have another one down here, which I also would like to automate. So let's put in a receptacle here, a conveyor loader here, and then I should have enough space for a sweeper right in the middle there, which also once more needs some power. So let's grab that and place this in here, and we can actually print something out. So let's have a look. Is there a good dupe here? Narcoleptic? Nope. Narcoleptic again? Nope. Farming, operating, decreased construction. Quinn would be a potential. Farming is pretty high actually. And operating? Do I need that many farmers? That is the question. I already have a good amount. No, I'll wait until I get a good pilot. This is the one I'm actually looking for right now. So let's go with fungal spore. And yeah, let's just set that up and get it out of the way. So this all needs to be built. I will have to, at some point in the near future, clean up whole of this spaghetti here. But for now, I think I'm at a good point where I can start working on the logistic center here. And the first thing it actually gets is a little freezer. Or first, actually the steam chamber for the freezer. Which will be 5 wide. And 2 high. Yeah, that should work. because I want to put things like ice now into a freezer and I don't want to thaw it up. I definitely have enough water lying around, so I don't need to thaw all of that. And I just want to keep this in case I need to cool something down quickly, and which can be easily done with the trick of making a dam-shift blade out of ice, as you have already seen in the past. But for now, let's put the steam chamber in here with a layer of petroleum and then a layer of water on top, so I don't actually need to pump out all of the gases. Now with the liquids in place, it's time for the aqua tuner out of steel for obvious reasons, right there. It needs a thermosensor, needs to be connected with some automation wire, and also some power, which will go just to the top there, and this should be, yeah, that's perfect for the steam turbine. Then I need a liquid vent right here, and then 2 bridges down there. Some insulated pipes moving around here, then up, and also connecting to the steam turbine. Then I have my cooling segment for the steam turbine and for the materials over here. Then I can connect them just like in this here, and then down here also just closing the loop. This I'm going to fill with petroleum as a coolant. I don't need anything more. This is well enough, and I can get rather cold with petroleum already. Ethanol would allow me to go a bit further below, but it has a rather bad heat transmission coefficients. So petroleum is overall, I think, even a bit better. Then let's for now just place one liquid vent here, another one there, and let's connect this like so. This will make sense in a moment. Then I have my cooling segment here, some metal tile there to keep everything connected a bit better. I will also need a ceiling. That should be all. And you can already see the beginnings of a liquid lock here and a liquid lock here, so I can put a vacuum in there. And then I need a mesh tile here at the bottom there, and a temporary tile here, so this will all flow in here. So I'm now going to build this, and once I have my first drop of petroleum run through in this liquid vent here, I'm going to delete it again and then probably fill in this cooling loop here. And here we go, the cooling loop is now filled in. I also have already a spot of petroleum at the top there, and also already almost 10 kilograms down here. So I can get rid of this liquid bridge here. While I'm here, I might as well also close the steam chamber and build the steam turbine. Then I can go further down here and snap this connection off again and put the rest of this petroleum here into this spot here at the top there. And yeah, I actually need to get rid of the carbon dioxide that's trapped in here for now. So I'm going to place just very quickly a tile here and then delete it again. It shouldn't take too long, I suspect. Any second now, the builder of the day should come by and do his job. Anyone? Come on. Okay, here one is coming. And now I can deconstruct this again. Let's make this super high priority. And now once this is all thrown out, you can see now I have around 300 kilograms of petroleum there. This is way more than I'm going to need. And I can now get rid of this, and I can also get rid of this whole pipe here. It's no longer needed as well. And once all of this here is cleaned up, I can start working on my primary distribution center over here. So for that, I'm going to start with a little U shape here. Then the floor, a block here for the wall. On top of that, a transit tube access. I will also add an airflow tile right here. Then the rest of the floor or ceiling, depending on how you look at it. 2 additional floors there. I need a temporary gap here so I can put in a bottle end here so I can get some liquids in there. This also needs to be removed so I can get access there. On those 4 spots, once I have the bottle empty out of the way, I'm going to place those here. Then in the middle I will have an auto sweeper. Loaded a conveyor loader, another 2 here to the side. A chute here and here. The chute here connects to this one here. This one goes straight down. This one goes over and connects to this chute here. That works out quite nicely. Wasn't really pre-planned that way, but it works. Nice to see that. This one here goes over for a bit later. I will need some power over here, so let's connect this like so. Yeah, that looks out, I hope. Then let's have a look. What do I need? I need the transit tube access. So the transit tube, then the access below it. Power comes in a moment. I also need, let's have a look at the top here. A total of 9 of these here. Then next to that I will have 2 large power transformers, one here, one there. And this one here is already pre-proposed to power that over there. You know what? Let's connect this. Let's have a look. Over there. Yeah, I still need some power further down the line here. So, then I'm going to need another sweeper in exactly... where do I want to place this? Let's place it at the top there. Next to that, a conveyor loader right here. Those will need power. So let's go and put that in there like so. Yeah, why not? Then this is actually the cheap option there. Yeah, that looks better. Then I can put in the rest of the ceiling. So let's close this off. And let's put in a nice ceiling over there too. Here I can put a normal wall in. Except that I actually need a... Where is it? A joint plate right here. And another joint plate right there. And then I can connect with some wire here. And there. I also need to cut off the wire here and put in a bridge with a slightly higher priority. That should be all of that. Then I can put the wire from this one here straight down. And this will also power this one over here. So let's go and... How do I want to do this? Yeah, let's go so like this. Yeah, that should work. Yeah. Then I am going to need to add some automation here. So I need a signal switch, which goes right here, connects to the auto sweeper, and via a NOT gate with the store here. The reason for that will become obvious quite soon, but now I can finally put in a bit of petroleum right in this spot down there. And there we go, roughly 200 kilograms of petroleum in there. A bit was deleted due to some carbon dioxide that had collected down here. Now I can put in the 4th of these and the rest of the ceiling or floor here. And I also should set this here to above minus 42 degrees. That way I will not freeze the petroleum, which I'm also using as the coolant, but I can freeze, where is it, the crude oil if I get any in there in a frozen state. Now this should not happen likely, since I don't have a frozen core in this map, but it's nevertheless a good idea to do it this way. So this is now all being done. What I can also already do is increase the priority for these here to 8. And now I can start putting in some more rails, I would say. So let's get started. The first thing I need is a line that connects to my primary input for my logistic center, which will take the output from the desalinator and my water sieve, as well as the polluted dirt from over here from the ethanol distillation. But it goes beyond that and will go down here and connect to this line there. So now I don't need to move everything to the right anymore, but instead I'm moving it to the left now. So let's snap this off. I can get rid of the chute here too. And I really need to clean up all of this here. So the first thing I need to do is actually snap this off here and disconnect the conveyor bridge there. Then at the top here, I already have my output for things that need to go into the incubator or the kitchen, which I will just move along this line here, going over a bridge there. Then I'm going around this tamer here, back into the wall, then straight down, and that will go into my incubator. So again, I'm just going to bridge over here and then going into the bridge there. Yeah, not the bridge, but into the conveyor rail any moment now. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to see. This goes also into there. And these here I'm also going to rewire to go through the wall, since I'm going to need that space here empty in a bit for something else. So this can go. This can also go. And in these here, I will also slightly modify. They will go, let's have a look. Yeah, they will go over here. Then I can get rid of this part. I'm also going to connect this to this one over here. And the last one I need from this side here is a connection to this one here, which is the sand, which is going to be needed over at the purification, but also at my bathroom. So let's have a look. How do I want to do this? Let's just go over here, then bridge that over, also bridge here, and then I can go over and then down. Yeah, that looks good. That should work quite nicely. Yeah, that is looking better already. Then let's set up these here. This is, as I said, for sand. This one here is for lumber. So those are set up. These still need to be built. Yeah, now I just need to wait for now until all of these here have been properly built. Except I almost forgot one thing I would like to add in this corner here. So if you look at these farm tiles here, you can see they need dirt. And currently my dupes are providing them, but I want to automate this process. So I'm going to grab myself a couple receptacles and place them here and here. That should be in reach of the auto sweepers. Yep, that looks good. And then I'm running this over to here. And here I'm going to use a conveyor rail element sensor and a shut off to connect them to this output there. So that should be all. I need some automation and I might need some power. Yeah. Okay, that is all I needed to automate this part. So now I need to wait until all of this here is built, and then I can start setting up these conveyor loaders here. And those are actually pretty simple. Sweep only, high priority, and everything. But as I said, now I need to wait until all of this here is built. And we just got hit by a surprise achievement, so let's have a look which one it is this time. Easy living. Have autosweepers complete more deliveries to machines than duplicants over 5 cycles. I've actually been waiting for this for a good while now, but I think there was actually a little bug that was just recently fixed, so maybe that was the reason I didn't get this earlier. But nice to see that my dupes are getting a easier life already. And about a cycle later, we are finally done with the building, so it's time to set everything up. Because as you can see, I already had some ice thawing in here and distributing the petroleum all over the place. So it's time to get going here. So first, I want to move, once the saving is done at least, want to move everything that is liquefiable over here. So liquefiable, let's have a look. Yeah, solid carbon dioxide I don't want in there, but everything else I want. Then this one here is going towards the incubators and kitchen. So this is everything that's edible, a cooking ingredient or a critter egg. And this one here moves down pretty much everything else. So agriculture, clothing, consumable ore. Yeah, let's move that all. Cultivable, filtration, industrial ingredient, liquefiables not. Manufactured materials, medical supplies, medicine can remain in here, I think. Metal ore, miscellaneous, organic, except for rot piles, polluted dirt and slime for now. I have to see what I'm going to do with this later. I find metals seed, yeah, that should be all. This one here will move everything with the highest priority. Then, oh, this is not done. Ah, this is not reachable. This is a bit annoying. So how do I want to do this? Okay, people, get rid of the liquids, and then I'm just going to dig through here. While I'm there, I might as well add another 2 kilograms of naphtha right next to this, or right below the conveyor chute, because I would like to also move the bleach stone and the oxalite over here, not only the data banks. Yeah, that would be a quite useful little trick. So I am just going to put the 2 kilograms of naphtha over here temporarily and then use the move command to get it in there and then remove that again. So this one here needs to go. Shouldn't take too long. And as I said, once this is built, I can place this in there and put some liquid naphtha in there. And once that is in place, I can continue with the setup. And there we go, everything is now in place. I have my liquid naphtha in there, so even if some of the oxalite or bleach stone that's put in there cannot be put into storage, it will not off-gas, which is very nice to see. I've already set up the conveyor loader for those, so let's continue over here. This one here can move pretty much everything. This one here can move everything except for the filtration medium. Down here, similarly, this is everything but the lumber. So let's get that out of there. Then similarly over here at the bathroom, we have everything except for the filtration medium again. I can now also get rid of this storage bin and also the setup at the top there. It's no longer needed. I also need to set this up to select the dirt and move it onto those 2 receptacles here. And those can be swept up, so let's just empty them out. Since it's a bit annoying to have this lying around. Then I can also get rid of this one here and this one here. I can also start sweeping up all of this garbage here into my normal storage system, which I just built. And that should be pretty much all of the settings I need to do right now. So let's continue at the top here with a temporary addition to our power infrastructure. So I'm going to place a couple of coal generators. So let's have a look. I need 3, then a gap, then another 3. And yeah, that should actually fit in. So 1, 2, 3. Yep, and then a gap that fits perfectly. storage bin here, storage bin there, and then some shipping, so I can sweep that into the proper coal generators automatically. That looks quite nicely. Then just some power wire. And then connect this here. And with those 5.4 kilowatts I just placed, I should be able to handle my slightly increased power needs. I hope at least. So let's set up the whole thing for coal with a decently high priority. And the same over there. So my tubes bring the coal in there. And then the sweepers can provide the coal generators from the coal in the storage bins. And that should provide us with all of the power we are going to need. By the way, I also decided to add automation here, so I can turn those off if needed, but for now I'll leave them turned on. So, this is not done. Next up, we apparently still occasionally have some water or ice thawing up in here, so that's something to be aware of. But for the most part this is not done, so we can work on something that I have been forgetting for a good while now. And that is finally finishing up the kitchen with a gas range. The last food production building, which will go right in this spot here. And yeah, for the kitchen I can go with gold wire. Why not? The gas range itself needs some natural gas to work properly, and this natural gas I'm getting from over here. So let's see, I'm just going to go straight down here. Or do I want to go? Yeah, let's just go straight down. And then where do I need this? The bottom there. So let's go over here. And then over there, and here I'm just going to add a bridge. That should work. Perfect. Then, next up, I am going to add a little bit of shipping over here for a bit later. For that I'm going to need a mechanized airlock here. And then, I hope this can be reached. Yeah, this can be reached. I'm going to add a conveyor loader right in this spot, which needs to be bridged. So let's increase the priority for the bridge a bit, so this is built first. Then I am going to need under shipping, where is it? Conveyor meter, which would be optimally close, but I don't really have the space and I don't want to get rid of the masterpiece up there. So I'm going to place it there. Then from over there in there, and then I need to get back into this system down there via a bridge. So let's just go up and then back into the system. Yeah, it's a bit roundabout, but it should work. And that's then my output for later. And now for automation, I need a wire. So this is the output. Green signal if limit is reached. I need to invert that. So I need a NOT gate there. That fits in there quite nicely, I must say. Then in there, let's connect this here. And at the top there, all I need is a tiny cycle sensor. Or should I go with a timer sensor? Let's go with a timer sensor. So, timer sensor there. Let's make that out of gold. This will remain in place for a bit longer. So it might be a good idea to use gold here. So, then power is also needed. So let's connect this here. I don't really need power for this one here. But I might as well power it that way. Then I can also get rid of the wire up there. And this one here also needs power. So let's see. How do I want to do this? Yeah, let's go up there. Like so. Yeah, that should work. Okay. And here we go. This is now pretty much done. I think there is still a little bit of pipe missing somewhere over here. Yeah, there. But as you can see with the copper lying all over the place, I noticed that some of my conveyor rails were made out of copper. So I switched them over to iron, which took a bit longer. But let's have a look what we can print out. So we have a rather decent pilot actually. Green thumb, not really important. Decreased construction for a pilot, also not overly important. That's a very good idea. Joshua. Same traits, tend to ranching. Mima, suit wearing, squeamish. I think we have our primary pilot. This is a very, very good indeed. So, let's get Pi in there. And obviously first the schedule and then the priorities. So obviously rocketry, and otherwise it's things like life support and tidying and storing and supplying. So, and maybe some toggling if I can find it. Yeah, there. So standard stuff and mostly rocketry. Very important. So, next up, skills. Here it's first let's have a look. What do we want to go with? Do I want to go direct into piloting or improved carry? Let's start with improved carry. Piloting I can do later when the next upgrade comes. But for now it's better to be able to carry more. So this is also all now done. Here I'm just going to transport barbecue. This is under edibles and barbecue. And then this one here is set to 0, so that should work. I also already set the time sensor to green for half a second, and the rest of the full cycle is red. That way I'm only resetting the conveyor meter here once per cycle. And that has the nice effect that I can use this to transport a certain amount of food to another asteroid, which will become important because I already have over here the teleport input for the neighboring asteroid. And towards the left, if I remember correctly, yeah, over here I have the output. So once I've dug out those parts, I can actually hook the neighboring asteroid into my power and logistic network of this main base here. But that's something for a later point episode. For now, let's have a look, and let's. This is almost done. Okay, people can't reach that, so let's get. You know what? It's just a single rail, not overly important. But why is no one coming around and... Oh, okay. Some people are currently coming and working on this. So the last few rails are being placed in, and or the last few pipes. And once those have been placed, I should be able to make use of this. And the first thing I would like to do is make as much surf and turf as I can. And otherwise, yeah, for now I'm just leaving it as at that. Everything else, what's this? Mushroom quiche? Okay, interesting. Interesting. But for now I'll leave it at that. So this is all done for now. My power supply is running. And yeah, I think this is a pretty decent point to stop with this episode here. We have reached quite a lot. We have built our primary distribution center for solids. We also have a little setup on the side here to deal with ice and similar liquefiables. And we have finally a proper setup of our entire solid transportation network, which connects all of the various inputs and outputs in a, well, somewhat strange looking but overly efficient setup. So now my tubes don't need to run all over the place, just to get minimum amounts of materials from one end of the base to the other. And with that, we've reached the end of this episode. Next time, hopefully, we will get our hands on some more nuclear waste for our research department. But for now, we are done. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, share, and comment if you did so. It really helps with the algorithm. Independent of that, I wish you a nice day, and well, see ya.